Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we're getting into some more Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 16. And we have a few things happening at the moment. Anhid has disappeared, presumably with her husband. Whether that was voluntary or by force, I don't know. He seems a little bit unhinged, so I don't know if she refused, if he would take that as an answer. So don't really know what's gonna happen with that, but Snake is out for blood because of it, because a few people died. Because a few of his men have been killed. Definitely some intense things happening there. And then we had Thorfinn and Anna deciding that they're going to team up. Anna being like, I am also looking for some kind of peace, for some kind of lack of violence and slavery and war. And how do we do that? And getting a wonderful speech from Thorfinn's side that I think just pulled together a lot of the different elements that have been set up with season 1 and season 2. And I think that it just gives a nice summary of the important things that are going to be carried forward as we get into the later half of this season and what is going to be coming next in the story. It's a lot of dialogue heavy stuff in the last episode, and I feel like we're going to be shifting a bit into some more of the action or plot stuff in this one. Maybe I feel like we've left behind the farming simulation and we are now moving into more of the action plot stuff. Let's just get into the episode and see what they got for me. In 3, 2, 1, go. Ominous music. Getting a little bit of a recap. Yeah, those are some serious faces. He isn't, but I understand assuming a connection. Right? Like if he was going to get help from someone on the farm, it would probably be these two. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could have just done it because, honestly, I don't think they take your comfort into consideration. Mm-hmm. This is like an intense look from Snake. Like he was already getting to the point where he's kind of making me uncomfortable. Like some of the things that he says, some of the things that he does. I'm like, I definitely feel like we shouldn't trust you. Like what's happening here right now? But then other times I want to trust him because they have like the cute like dinner together and stuff. But like the look down, like no, he's scary. I feel like there's so much symbolism in this opener too. Like it's gorgeously put together. Even like the butterflies, like I think it's like Canute who's like covered in butterflies. I'm like that feels like, you know, because butterflies associated with like spirits and stuff, that it's very similar to the image that we got of Thorfinn with like, yeah, with all the like dead like clinging on to him. But whereas like Thorfinn sees the like how morbid that is, how grotesque that is, Canute is still kind of seeing it in this place of like beauty, glory, a natural cycle maybe. So like the juxtaposition of those two things. Are we doing our own search? Oh, they don't know yet. That makes sense, yeah. I don't think he's thinking logically. He's already lost people he cares about because he couldn't fight back, right? So he's not gonna do it again. Mm-hmm. Is she still here? Or is that someone else? I just assumed she was gone. Or is he somewhere? Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that he would have gone anywhere without her. Nope. I just assumed she was gone with him. Because I don't think he would have gone anywhere without taking her. Or that they would have let her... Like, don't... Because, like... They're here, like, they know that she would to go see him. So wouldn't they be, like... suspicious of her having done something? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm surprised you have not been punished. Other than, like, they probably using her as, like, bait. They're probably like me, and they're like, they don't think that he's gonna go somewhere without taking her with him. So, keep him alive so that he'll come back. Yep. Don't say that. You're gonna bring worse upon us. I know it was an internal thought, but still. Yes, very convincing washing of dishes there. I noticed a look from the old master before. I'm like, are we getting... Is he in on it? Ah. Is he under the bed? I'm just saying. I saw the look earlier at Snake and I was like, what going on? Mm-hmm. Girl, that's a lot of stress to be dealing with right now. In his face. She couldn't do it when it came down to it, right? That definitely won't happen. If that child is Katil's, I don't think that you're gonna be able to leave. I mean, I guess it depends on who knows about it, right? He's a reminder of before, right? The possibilities that before had. That sounds like you want to help Thorfinn. Be an accomplice. Thorfinn, like, sounds way more ready to help than Anna does. I know that he's hesitant because he doesn't want Anhita to be, like, pulled into the madness and be in danger. But he'll help. The similarity in the eyes, though, is interesting between Garda and Anna. Mm-hmm. He's conflicted, but he'll help you. What are we gonna do, Thorfinn? In terms of, like, actually, I was like, of course he's gonna help, but, like, how? Because we don't fight anymore. Mm-hmm. Not a very good guard. He will. I 100% believe that. That's a weighted statement. Mm-hmm. I mean, not just unlucky. True. Doesn't it? It's like they're people. Yeah, that's a statement. In this kind of culture? Mm-hmm. There's a backstory though. Oh, yeah. Choose a different life that isn't fighting. It looks very serene too in that the picture. Like that's how he sees this life and this farm. Yeah, to end the violence now, right? He's not gonna take it though. Because like it's scary to give up what you know, right? Like if you know fighting, if you know being a fighter and a warrior, then it's scary to give that up and try something else. Especially since working a farm is still hard work. Like it's still not guaranteed that it will work, right? That you'll yield enough to actually make it from one year to the next. Also, that is most definitely I'm not in that in the like cloak. Thorfinn. Good to know he's staying that still though. Gosh, that makes me like I know they're just dragonflies, but I'm like the idea of there being that many makes me uncomfy. Yeah, shouldn't you leave someone behind? Because Anhi's still there. What are you gonna do if they catch him, though? Like, he's gonna get punished, right? I guess they're throwing in their lot, but I mean, is there a after this plan? They're like, I need to borrow your horse and cart. Aww. I love the fact that earlier on it was like, you need to work for me to earn to be able to use my horse, right? And now it's, I'm just gonna help you. Like there is no like exchange for the help. It's just like, yes, I will help you because I see you as people and I understand what you're trying to do. And the like the shift in his character. Boy, you better get to the woods. He's doing a lot of running today. Was he under the bed? I was like, that feels like the only place to put him. No one looked? Just in case? That was like the first plot I thought of. At least I thought of. Stressed. That's also a good point. He's moving real well for somebody who's been injured that badly. If that's him. Shouldn't have had everyone leave at the same time. Dang, the way the Thorfinn's just like pick him up. Like it's not even difficult for him. I mean, I know he's been like moving trees for a while, but dang. Dang, he like walked up into the cart too. Thorfinn? Thorfinn? Because he's not his horse, which means that he's probably close enough by that he can walk the rest of the way. Yep. Because he wanted to see what you were up to. Y'all better get a move on. Take the cart and horse. Ooh. That shift in the lighting. Mm-hmm. You don't want to use violence, though. Herein lies the dilemma. I love that we keep getting Aslav moments, because he's such a, like, voice inside of Thorfinn's head. Mm-hmm. Everyone has their reasons. Therein lies the dilemma. Do you fight because it's for something that you believe in? Or do you not engage because you, like, fighting isn't what you believe in, right? Like, if you don't believe in fighting and violence, fundamentally, then how do you excuse it in moments where you're fighting for something that is also, like, the greater good? Right? Like, it's like the previous episode where it was like, how do you end war without fighting? Ooh. Is he just, like, not gonna make contact? Is that the loophole? Dang! We haven't seen our boy in action in so long. Except for that, like, one moment earlier. Yup. I agree. Yeah. He's real good. Like, I think if Thorfinn was honestly fighting, Snake would not stand a chance. Not that I've seen a lot of snake fighting, but I legitimately believe that. Ooh. Don't get in your head, Thorfinn. We need to survive this. Ideally. Oh. Snake's gonna pick up on it too. If there's like hesitation, he's gonna exploit that loophole. Nope. Yep. Like recognizes like. Yeah, he can see it. I love that. Like, his fighting stance still mirrors him having the blades. And I love that Snake can pick up on that because he's fought enough, right? Which, I mean, digging into his own backstory, I just noticed that I'm smiling all excited, which is probably not the right response to everything that's going down, okay? I understand that having to fight Snake is a bad thing, right? They have basically given up their place at this farm. There's no way that they get out of this and they can just go back to working on this farm and everything is fine, right? I know that there are some bad things happening, but I'm just so excited to see Thorfinn, I don't know, harkening back to who he was before this and digging into some of that, but also from this very different perspective, right? And dealing with this dilemma of how do you fight for what you believe in when one of the things you believe in is not fighting, like not using violence, right? And it's interesting to see him initially, he's like, oh, I could just get in one blow and that would be enough to take him out and then we can leave, right? And then immediately we have Askeladd coming into his brain and being like, oh, so you're gonna fight now, and having that internal monologue, almost like the devil on his shoulder, to be like, hey, that still counts, right? So are you going to fight to help someone, or are you going to continue to be a pacifist? And it seems like the loophole that Thorfinn is going for is that he's not actually going to make contact. He's not going to actually hit Snake in some way. I don't know how long that'll last. Does blocking count as engaging in an actual fight or what? Because really he just has to distract Snake long enough that Arnheid can leave, right? With the horse and cart. I don't really know what the plan is. I don't know if he really knows what the plan is, but he's just, okay, fine. I'm gonna have to help because I said that I would, and I believe in this, and this is something that I think it's like worth risking for. And I think it's interesting to see him going through the dilemma and like finally being tested with it. I guess it's like where some of my excitement is coming from. It's just being like, okay, now we get to see what the Thorfinn 2.0 is going to do when faced with one of these circumstances, because it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna be a pacifist, I'm not gonna use violence anymore, I'm not gonna fight people, when all you're doing is farming. It's another thing when you're faced with actual conflict that's going on in the world, and what do you do when you're faced with that dilemma? I'm excited to see that. It's exciting to see Snake as well, like seeing more of him as a fighter and getting like some hints at the backstory of him and the fact that he is so easily able to clock who Thorfinn is. Like we saw that early on when they first met, but now he's, hang on, that's not the right stance for someone with a spear or an axe. He used like the two dual knives, right? And being able to get that, and the fact that his fighting style still mimics that, because that's where he learned fighting, was with those particular weapons of choice. And the way that you can see Thorfinn, the same thing, right? We're getting that internal warrior brain of like how he is assessing the situation, how he is reading Snake, and even me saying you can't have any hesitation here, not only because that's going to be when you make a mistake and you end up getting killed in a fight, right? But also because Snake's going to be able to pick up on that. He's able to read him well enough that if you show any of that hesitation, he's going to know, and he's going to exploit that to his advantage, because like he said, he's not here to negotiate. So this is a heck of a fight coming up, which I guess I'm excited for too, because I do like a good shonen. Okay, I like a good fight, even if it is intense, and I know that it can get a little graphic in this series as well. But yeah, excited to see what we're going to get with Thorfinn now that he has something that he wants to fight for. But what does fighting mean for him now if he doesn't want to engage in violence? Excited to see what the next few episodes have for me, but I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this place to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a Vinland Saga reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.